Welcome, friend. Tonight we walk a quiet path together through the gentle dark. Let yourself arrive here fully. There is nowhere else you need to be right now. The day has asked so much of you. It has pulled at your attention endlessly, but now the world grows soft. The edges of everything begin to blur and fade. Feel the weight of your body against the bed beneath you. Notice how it holds you. The mattress remembers your shape. The pillow cradles the back of your head gently. There is nothing left to solve tonight. No problem that requires your urgent attention. The tasks of tomorrow will wait patiently in their place until the morning arrives. For now, you are simply here, breathing, listening, resting in this quiet moment together. Somewhere in the distance, perhaps, the sound of rain against a window, soft, steady, or maybe the whisper of wind through trees that have stood for 100 years. These sounds have always existed. They were here before you, and they continue on. They ask nothing of you. They simply are, and you can simply be alongside them. Let your breath find its own rhythm now. You do not need to control it. The body knows how to breathe. It has done so every moment since you arrived. Trust it. Let the inhale come when it wishes. Let the exhale leave when ready. Each breath is a small wave arriving on shore. Each breath is a wave returning. There is a rhythm to existence that we often forget in the noise of living. But here in the darkness, that rhythm becomes clear again. It becomes everything. You are not separate from this rhythm. You are part of it. You always were. The stillness you seek is not something distant. It lives within you already now. It waits beneath the surface of your thoughts like water beneath winter ice. All we need to do tonight is let that ice begin to melt slowly, not with force, not with effort, simply with warmth, simply with patient attention. Imagine, if you will, a small room in an ancient temple somewhere far away. The walls are made of paper and wood. They have stood for many generations. A single candle burns on a low wooden table. Its flame barely moves at all. The light it casts is golden and soft. It touches everything with gentle warmth. In this room, there is nothing that does not belong. Everything has its place. A brush rests beside an inkstone. A scroll hangs on the wall behind. The floor is smooth from countless footsteps of those who came here seeking peace, and peace is what they found. Not because the room was special or magical, but because they learned to stop, to sit, to breathe, to simply be present. This is the gift we offer ourselves when we pause at the end of day. We remember that peace is not something we create, it is what remains when we stop struggling. Let that thought settle into you like leaves settling onto the surface of water. Peace is not something we create, it is what remains when we stop struggling. You have struggled enough today. You have pushed and pulled and tried so hard. Now is the time for something different. Now is the time for gentle surrender, not giving up, not defeat, but the soft release of letting things be as they are. There is a story that has been told for many centuries in quiet places. It speaks of a calligrapher who lived in a small village near the mountains. This calligrapher was known throughout the region for the beauty of his brushwork. People would travel great distances just to watch him create a single character. His strokes were fluid and sure. His ink flowed like water finding its path. But what made his work truly remarkable was something that few people understood. You see, this calligrapher had been blind since the day he was born. He had never seen the characters he created. He had never seen anything at all. And yet his calligraphy was more beautiful than that of any sighted master. Visitors would sit in wonder as his brush moved across the paper with certainty. "How is this possible?" they would ask. "How can you create such beauty unseeing?" The calligrapher would smile gently and set down his brush before answering. He would say, "When I was young, I tried so hard to see what others saw. I strained my eyes toward light that would never come. I wept with frustration. I believed that sight was necessary for beauty. That vision was required for art. But as the years passed, I began to understand something different, something quieter. I realized that I was trying to grasp what could never be held. I was reaching for something that was not mine to have, and it exhausted me. So one morning, I stopped reaching. I stopped straining. I simply breathed, and in that breath, I felt the brush in my hand for the first time, not as a tool to create what I imagined, but as an extension of my being. I felt the paper beneath my fingers. I felt the weight of the ink. I felt the air moving around me, the warmth of sun through the window. I understood then that I had been looking for beauty in the wrong place. Beauty was not something out there to be seen. It was something within to be expressed. When I stopped trying to see, I began to feel. When I stopped grasping, I began to flow. Now my brush moves without my direction. My hand follows paths I do not choose. The characters emerge not from my effort, but from my surrender, from my stillness. I do not create the beauty. I simply allow it to move through me. The visitors would sit with these words for a long time in the quiet room. Some would nod slowly, understanding washing over them like warm water. Others would furrow their brows, still caught in the habit of grasping for meaning. But the calligrapher did not mind either response. He simply returned to his brush. He would dip it in ink, feel the moisture against the bristles, sense the readiness, and then his hand would move and characters would appear as if by themselves. This is the first teaching we hold tonight in this gentle darkness together. True mastery comes not from control but from release, not from effort but from presence. The calligrapher did not overcome his blindness. He did not defeat or conquer it. He simply stopped fighting against it. He stopped wishing it were otherwise. And in that acceptance, something unexpected emerged, something beautiful and free. We all have our own blindnesses, areas of life where we cannot see clearly, places where we strain and reach and struggle against what is simply true. Tonight, in the softness of this moment, we can begin to lay that struggle down, not because we are giving up, but because we are finally ready to receive. Breathe gently now. Let your shoulders drop a little lower against the bed. Feel how the tension in your neck can soften, even just the smallest amount. You do not need to force relaxation. That would be another kind of grasping. Simply notice where you are holding and invite those places to let go. The body responds to invitation far better than it responds to demand. So we invite, we suggest, we offer the possibility of ease, nothing more. If the shoulders wish to hold a little longer, that is allowed. If the jaw wishes to stay clenched, we do not judge it or fight it. We simply continue breathing, continue noticing, continue offering the invitation gently. In time, the body learns that it is safe to soften. It remembers how. This knowing lives within every muscle, every nerve, every cell of your being. You were born knowing how to rest completely. Watch any sleeping infant and see. They do not struggle against sleep. They do not grip the edges of waking. They simply release into the arms of rest and are held completely. We are relearning that tonight, returning to something we have always known. Peace is not something we create. It is what remains when we stop struggling. The calligrapher found his greatest art in the moment he stopped trying. Perhaps there is something in your life that asks for this same surrender. Some effort that has exhausted you. Some reaching that has left you empty. You do not need to name it or examine it closely tonight. Simply acknowledge that it exists and offer it the same gentleness we offer ourselves. Perhaps it too can begin to soften. Perhaps it too can rest. In a temple garden, there once lived a cat who had no name. The monks had found her one morning by the gate, thin and frightened. They offered her rice and fish, which she ate carefully, watching their faces. She stayed through the winter, then the spring, then the years that followed. The cat never became what you might call tame. She never sat in laps. She never purred when stroked or sought the warmth of human company. She remained wild in some essential way, separate, observing from a distance, but she also remained. Day after day, year after year, she stayed. The younger monks often grew frustrated with her. They wanted her affection. They would leave offerings of the finest fish, hoping to win her trust. They would speak to her softly, move slowly, around her, demonstrate their kindness. Still, the cat kept her distance. Still, she watched with yellow eyes. But the old abbot, who had lived in the temple for 60 years, understood. He never tried to touch the cat. He never offered her special foods. When she crossed his path, he simply nodded, as one might to an equal. When she sat in the garden, he sat nearby, asking nothing of her presence. One evening, a young monk came to the abbot with frustration in his voice. "Master," he said, "why does the cat refuse our kindness after all these years? We have given her everything, food, shelter, safety, and she gives nothing back." The abbot was quiet for a long moment, watching the moon rise over the wall. Then he said, "You believe the cat owes you something for your offerings. This is your first mistake. A gift given with expectation is not a gift. It is a transaction, and the cat knows the difference, even if you do not." The young monk shifted uncomfortably, but remained silent, waiting for more. The abbot continued, "You want the cat to become something other than what she is. You want her to be tame, affectionate, grateful in ways you can measure. But the cat is already complete. She does not need to become anything. She is expressing her nature perfectly, wild and present and entirely herself. Your suffering comes not from her distance, but from your wish that she were different. If you release that wish, you would see her clearly for the first time." The young monk sat with these words through the night. He did not sleep. By morning, something had shifted in him. Some expectation had loosened its grip. He went to the garden and saw the cat sitting beneath the plum tree. For the first time, he did not wish for her to be different. He simply saw her, grey fur and yellow eyes, breath moving in small chest, a creature entirely herself, neither owing him nor owed by him. And in that seeing, the monk felt a great peace wash through his body. He had been carrying the weight of his expectations without even knowing it. Now, released from that weight, he felt lighter than he had in years. The cat, of course, noticed none of this. She simply continued being a cat. But that was exactly the teaching. Her indifference was part of the gift. We cannot control how others respond to our offerings. We can only offer. When we release our grip on outcomes, we release ourselves from so much suffering. This is not coldness or detachment. It is the deepest form of love. To love without needing anything in return. To give without keeping score. To accept others exactly as they are, without wishing them to be otherwise. Peace is not something we create. It is what remains when we stop struggling. Breathe gently now. Let that teaching settle somewhere deep within you. Where in your life are you waiting for someone to be different than they are? Where are you carrying the weight of expectations that were never yours to hold? You do not need to answer these questions. Tonight, simply let them rest in you. Like seeds planted in winter soil, they will grow when the time is right. For now, it is enough to breathe, to rest, to be held by this darkness. The night has wrapped itself around you like a soft and ancient blanket. It asks nothing of you. It expects nothing. It simply holds you as you are. This is the truest gift we can give ourselves, this acceptance without condition. And as we offer it to ourselves, we become more able to offer it to others. The circle completes itself. Giving and receiving become the same movement. Let your breath continue its gentle rhythm, in and out, wave and shore. There is nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. Only this moment unfolding. Rain falls somewhere in the world tonight. It has been falling for millions of years. Rivers find their way to oceans without needing maps or directions. Birds migrate across continents, following knowledge written in their bones. The world knows how to be itself, and so do you in your deepest nature. Tonight we remember that knowing. We return to the place before forgetting. A long time ago, in a monastery high in the mountains, there was a library. This library held the teachings of countless masters across hundreds of years. Scrolls and books and manuscripts filled its wooden shelves from floor to ceiling. Monks would come from distant lands just to study in its quiet rooms. They believed that wisdom lived in those pages, that truth was held in ink. And there was truth there, certainly. The teachings were profound and beautiful. But one night, a fire began in the valley below and climbed the mountain. By the time the monks smelled smoke, the flames were already at the gates. They ran to the library, desperate to save what they could. But the fire moved faster. It consumed the buildings one by one. Within hours, the library was gone. Every scroll, every book, every manuscript, centuries of accumulated wisdom reduced to ash and drifting smoke. The monks stood in the courtyard as dawn broke over the ruined grounds. Many of them wept. They felt that something precious had been lost forever. The weight of that loss pressed down on them like a stone. But the old master, who had led the monastery for 40 years, did not weep. He stood among the ashes with a face that was peaceful and clear. One of the monks approached him, tears streaming down his soot-stained face. "Master," he said, "how can you be calm? We have lost everything we had." The old master was quiet for a long moment, looking at the smoking ruins. Then he bent down and picked up a handful of ash, letting it fall through his fingers. "We have lost nothing," he said softly. "The teachings were never in the books." The young monk stared at him, not understanding. The words seemed impossible. The master continued. Every word that was written came from someone's awakening, a moment of clarity that arose in a human heart, just like yours. The books were fingers pointing at the moon. But the moon is still there. "Look up," he said, and the young monk looked up at the pale morning sky. The master said, "The same awareness that illuminated those ancient masters lives in you now. It was never trapped in paper and ink. It cannot be destroyed by fire. Those teachings were reminders of what you already know in your deepest being, and you still have that being. You still have this breath, this moment, this awareness. The library can be rebuilt, new books can be written, but more importantly," he placed his hand on the young monk's chest, over his heart. "The teaching lives here. It has always lived here. It will never be lost." The young monk felt something shift inside him. The grief did not disappear, but it was joined by something else, a strange lightness, a quiet peace. He realized that he had been clinging to the forms of wisdom, not wisdom itself. He had confused the finger for the moon, the map for the territory. In losing everything external, he was invited to find what was internal, what could never be taken, what could never burn, what was always already free. This is the teaching for this moment in our journey together tonight. Nothing that is truly yours can ever be lost. Nothing real is in danger. The worries that visit you, the fears that sometimes grip your chest, they are concerned with forms, with things that change, with what comes and goes. But you are the awareness in which all those forms appear and disappear. You are the sky through which the clouds of experience drift endlessly. The sky is never damaged by the clouds. It is never diminished by storms. It simply is, vast, open, present, unmoved by what moves through it. Tonight, as you rest, you can begin to identify less with the clouds. You can sense perhaps the spaciousness that has always been your true nature, not through effort, not through trying, simply through allowing, through being. Peace is not something we create. It is what remains when we stop struggling. The library burned. The ash fell. The monks rebuilt and continued teaching. What was real remained real. What was eternal remained eternal. Life went on, and here you are, still breathing, still present, still held by this moment. Whatever you have lost in your life, whatever has burned or fallen away, the essence of who you are remains untouched, perfect, complete, aware. Breathe into that knowing. Let it comfort you like a mother's lullaby. You are safe in the deepest possible way. You have always been safe. The fears that come are passing visitors. They arrive, they make noise, they leave, but you remain. The awareness remains. The peace beneath all disturbance remains. Let your body sink a little deeper into the bed that holds you. Feel how gravity is not a force pulling you down, but a gentle embrace. The earth reaches up to meet you. It supports you without any effort on your part. You do not have to hold yourself up. You can release that ancient tension. The bed will not let you fall. The ground will not give way beneath you. You are held. You have always been held. You will continue to be held. This is the nature of existence, not random or hostile, but intimately supportive. The air enters your lungs without you needing to think about breathing. Your heart beats without your direction. Your blood flows without your command. The body is miraculous in its intelligence. It knows exactly what to do. And when we stop interfering, stop worrying, stop trying to control, the body returns to its natural state of balance, of health, of peace. Tonight we offer that gift to ourselves, the gift of non-interference, the gift of trust, the gift of allowing the body to remember its wisdom. And in that allowing, something beautiful begins to happen. Tension releases, breath deepens, the chattering mind grows quiet, like a lake after the wind has passed. You may notice thoughts still arising. This is natural, this is perfect. Do not fight them or try to push them away. That would be more struggle. Simply notice them, acknowledge them, and let them pass like clouds. They do not require your attention. They do not demand your response. They are simply weather, and you are the sky, vast, unchanging, at peace. In the mountains of the east, there was once a teacher who never spoke. For 50 years, students came to sit with him in his small stone hut. They would ask their questions. They would present their problems. They would seek guidance, and the teacher would simply look at them, silent, present, completely attentive. At first, this frustrated the students. They wanted answers. They wanted words. They wanted someone to tell them what to do, how to think, what to believe. But the teacher offered none of this. He only offered his presence, his complete, undivided, silent attention, his willingness to simply be with them. Over time, the students began to understand. The silence was the teaching. In that silence, their own answers arose. Their own wisdom made itself known. They realized that they had been so busy asking questions from others that they had forgotten to listen to the wisdom already living inside them. The teacher's silence created space, and in that space, truth could emerge. Not the teacher's truth, not borrowed truth, but their own authentic knowing. Many of those students went on to become teachers themselves in time, and when asked what their master had taught them, they would smile. "He taught us to listen," they would say, "to the silence between the words, to the space between the thoughts, to the stillness beneath the noise. That is where wisdom lives, not in ideas but in presence, not in words but in awareness." Tonight, we practice this same teaching. We become comfortable with silence, not silence as absence, as something missing, but silence as fullness, as completeness, the silence that holds all sounds within it, the stillness that allows all movement. When we stop needing to fill every moment with thought and activity, we discover that the moments are already full, already complete, already perfect. There is nothing missing in this breath, nothing lacking in this darkness. Everything you need is already here. Everything you seek is already present. If these teachings bring you peace, you are welcome to subscribe and return. Whenever you wish to rest, this quiet path will be here waiting. Now let us continue our journey together, deeper into the night's embrace. Let your breath carry you like a leaf floating gently on a stream. The stream knows where it is going. You do not need to direct it. Simply float, simply trust, simply allow yourself to be carried forward. In ancient times, there was a potter who lived at the edge of a small village. Her pottery was simple but beautiful. Each piece carried a quiet perfection. People would come from many miles away to purchase her bowls and cups. But what made her work special was not just its beauty or its form. It was something harder to describe, something felt rather than seen. When you held one of her cups, you felt somehow more present. When you ate from one of her bowls, the food seemed to taste more real. There was a quality of attention in every piece, a kind of love. One day, a young apprentice came to study with her. He was eager to learn. He watched her work for many weeks, studying every movement of her hands. He practiced shaping clay. He learned the techniques of firing and glazing, and his pieces were technically good. They held water, they did not crack, but they lacked that special quality, that presence, that indefinable something. The apprentice grew frustrated. He worked harder and harder at his craft. He studied the old masters. He experimented with new techniques. Still, his pottery remained ordinary, functional, but without spirit. One evening, exhausted and discouraged, he sat down beside the potter. "Teacher," he said, "I have tried everything. What am I doing wrong?" The potter continued shaping a small cup, her hands moving slowly, gently. She was quiet for a long time. The wheel hummed softly in the dim light. Then she said, "You are doing nothing wrong. That is your only mistake." The apprentice frowned. "I do not understand. How can doing nothing wrong be wrong?" The potter smiled. "You are trying to make beautiful pottery. You are reaching toward an idea of what your work should be, but beauty cannot be grasped. It can only be allowed." She held up the cup she was shaping. "Look at this clay. It has its own nature, its own wants, its own way of being. When I shape it, I am not imposing my will upon it. I am listening to it, feeling what it wants to become. My hands follow the clay. They do not lead it." The apprentice watched her fingers moving. They seemed to barely touch the spinning clay, and yet the cup was emerging, perfect and alive, as if by itself. The potter continued, "You are still separate from your work. You stand above it, trying to make it into something, but the great potters become one with the clay. There is no separation, no artist, no art, just the movement itself, the creating without a creator. When you reach that place, the beauty will come on its own, not because you made it, but because you got out of the way." The apprentice sat with these words for many days. He stopped practicing techniques. Instead, he simply sat with the clay. He held it, he felt it, he stopped thinking about what he wanted to make. He began listening, and slowly, over time, his pottery began to change, not because he was trying harder, but because he was trying less. The spirit entered his work when he stopped blocking it with effort. This is a teaching that applies far beyond the potter's wheel. In every area of life, we often try too hard to make things happen. We grasp at outcomes. We strain toward goals. We push against resistance. And in all that effort, we block the very flow we seek to create. Tonight, as you rest in this darkness, you can practice this release. You can stop trying to fall asleep. That would be another kind of grasping. Instead, simply allow yourself to rest. Allow the body to do what it knows. Sleep will come when sleep wants to come. Peace will arise when peace is ready. Your only task is to create the conditions, to get out of the way, to stop the endless trying, the constant effort, the habitual striving. This is not laziness or passivity. It is a different kind of action. Action without force, movement without struggle, doing without doing. The great sages spoke of this. They called it Wu Wei, effortless effort, like water flowing downhill, like a bird riding thermal currents. No unnecessary movement, no wasted energy, just pure, aligned, natural action. This is available to you in this moment. This is what the darkness offers, the chance to stop, to release, to allow, to simply be. Peace is not something we create. It is what remains when we stop struggling. Breathe into that truth. Let it soften the tight places in your body. Let it quiet the busy places in your mind. Let it hold you. The potter knew this secret. Her cups carried peace because she was at peace. The quality of our inner state infuses everything we create and do. When we are tense, our creations carry that tension. Our relationships suffer. When we are at peace, peace radiates outward. It touches everything around us. This is why the inner work matters. This is why this rest matters. You are not just resting for yourself, you are resting for the world. Every moment of peace you cultivate adds to the peace of all beings. Every breath of calm you take ripples outward in ways you cannot see. You are connected to everything. Your well-being is the well-being of the whole. So rest deeply tonight. It is an act of generosity, an offering. Your peace is a gift to everyone who will encounter you tomorrow. Now let us move even deeper into the stillness of this night. Let the images and stories fade. Let even the words grow sparse. There is a place beyond stories, beyond ideas, beyond thought itself. It is the place from which all stories arise, the source of all ideas. It is pure awareness, consciousness itself, the light that illuminates all experience. You do not need to understand this with your mind. The mind cannot grasp it, but you can sense it, you can feel it, you can rest in it. It is closer than close, more intimate than your own heartbeat. It is what you are when you are not thinking about what you are. The thoughts that rise in your mind are not you. They are clouds. The emotions that move through your body are not you. They are weather. The sensations, the perceptions, the memories, the plans, all of these come and go. But you remain. The witness remains. The awareness remains, unchanged. This awareness has no age. It was not born and it cannot die. It is the same awareness that looked through your eyes as a child, the same awareness that will be present in your final breath. It is timeless, eternal, beyond all the changes of life and death. When you touch this awareness, even briefly, fear loses its grip, because you see that what you truly are cannot be threatened or harmed. The body changes, the mind changes, circumstances change, but this does not change. It is the one constant in all of experience, the ground of all being. Tonight, resting in this darkness, you can sense this eternal presence, not as something foreign or strange, but as your own deepest nature. You have always been this. You will always be this. Nothing can take it away. Rest in that knowing. Let it permeate every cell of your body. Let it ease the fear of loss. Let it quiet the anxiety about the future. Whatever happens, you will still be this awareness, this presence, this peace. The moon has been shining for billions of years. It does not tire. The stars burn in the endless dark. They do not exhaust themselves. And the awareness that you are has shone through countless lifetimes. It is older than the mountains, deeper than the oceans, vaster than the sky. And yet it is right here, right now, in this breath, in this moment, nowhere else to go, nothing else to find, just this, only this. Let the breath continue its gentle rhythm. You do not need to control it. Let the body continue its settling. You do not need to direct it. Let the mind continue its quieting. You do not need to force it. Everything is happening on its own. Everything is already perfect, just as it is. In a garden somewhere, a single flower blooms in the moonlight. No one sees it. No one knows it is there. But it blooms anyway. It does not bloom for recognition or reward. It blooms because that is its nature. This is the teaching of the flower, to be fully what you are, without needing approval, without seeking validation, without asking permission. You too have a nature, a way of being that is uniquely yours. Tonight, in the safety of this darkness, you can simply be that. No masks, no performances, No trying to be what others expect. Just you. Authentic, real, complete, exactly as you are. This is enough. More than enough. It is everything. The universe needs you to be you. Not some improved version. Not someone else. Just you. With all your quirks and flaws and beautiful imperfections. These are not mistakes to be corrected. They are features to be embraced. The cracks in the pottery let the light shine through. The asymmetry of the tree makes it beautiful against the sky. And your own irregularities are what make you irreplaceable, precious, real. Love yourself tonight, not as a task or obligation, but as truth. You are worthy of love. You have always been worthy. You will always be. Nothing you have done can take that worthiness away. It is inherent. It is woven into the fabric of what you are, inseparable from your being. So rest in that love. Let it hold you as you descend towards sleep. You are loved. You are safe. You are exactly where you need to be. The night continues its slow turning. The stars wheel overhead unseen, and you are part of this great dance, this cosmic movement of existence, not separate from it, but integral to it, essential, belonging. The same atoms that burn in distant suns also make up your body. The same energy that moves the galaxies also moves through your veins. You are not a stranger in this universe. You are made of it. You belong here as surely as the mountains and the rivers and the trees. This is your home. This moment is your home. This breath is your home. You have never been lost, no matter how lost you may have felt. You have always been held by something larger than you can imagine. Call it nature, call it existence, call it the divine. The name does not matter. What matters is the feeling of being held, of being supported, of being loved. Let that feeling grow now. Let it expand to fill your entire body, from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. Warmth, safety, peace, belonging, love. These are not just words. They are your birthright, your inheritance. They are waiting for you whenever you are ready to receive them. And tonight you are ready. Tonight you are open. Tonight you accept. In a monastery long ago, there was a monk who sought perfect meditation. He had practiced for 30 years with discipline and determination. He could sit for hours without moving. His concentration was legendary, but still he felt that something was missing, some final breakthrough. He went to his teacher and confessed his frustration with humility. "Master," he said, "I have given everything to this practice. I have followed every instruction. I have observed every precept, and yet I do not feel the peace that the scriptures describe. What am I doing wrong? What more must I do to achieve awakening?" The old teacher looked at him with eyes full of compassion. He saw the effort. He saw the years of striving. He saw the sincerity. And he also saw the one thing that was blocking the way. "My dear friend," he said softly, "you have done everything perfectly. Your discipline is beautiful. Your dedication is admirable. Your effort is sincere. But there is one thing you have not done, one thing you cannot do." The monk leaned forward, eager to learn what final practice he lacked. The teacher said, "You have not stopped doing. You have not stopped seeking. As long as you are trying to achieve awakening, you will never awaken. Because awakening is not an achievement. It is not a goal to reach. It is what you already are. It is your natural state. The very effort to awaken is what prevents the awakening." The monk was confused. "But Master, if I do not try, how can I succeed?" The teacher smiled. "That question is the problem. That need to succeed. Let go of success and failure. Let go of gaining and losing. Let go of the one who wants to awaken. That one is the final obstacle. The monk sat with this paradox. His mind could not grasp it. Every time he tried to let go, he noticed that he was trying. Every time he stopped trying, he noticed that he was stopping. It seemed impossible, a trap with no exit, a knot that could not be untied. And then, without warning, something shifted. The struggle just stopped. Not because he had stopped it, not because he had done anything, but because the exhaustion was finally complete. The effort finally burned out. In that moment of total exhaustion, total surrender, total release, the peace was there. It had always been there, waiting behind the effort. He laughed, a long, gentle laugh of recognition and relief. He had been searching for something that could not be found by searching. He had been striving towards something that could only be found by stopping. The teacher nodded. He had seen this happen many times before. The final barrier was always the seeker, the one who wanted to arrive. When the seeker disappeared, even for a moment, the destination revealed itself, because there was no distance to travel, no gap to bridge, no goal to reach. Everything was already complete, had always been complete, would always be complete. This is the deepest teaching of the contemplative traditions, not a doing, but an undoing, not an achievement, but a recognition. We do not become peaceful. We recognize the peace that has always been. We do not become free. We recognize the freedom that was never bound. Tonight, in the simplicity of this darkness, this teaching is available to you, not as something to understand or grasp, but as something to rest in. You do not need to meditate perfectly. You do not need to relax correctly. You do not need to do anything at all. That is the whole point. Simply rest, simply breathe, simply allow this moment to be exactly as it is, and in that allowing, peace reveals itself, gentle, quiet, complete. It was always here. It has always been here. It will always be here. You have simply been too busy looking for it to notice it looking at you. Peace is not something we create. It is what remains when we stop struggling. Let those words dissolve into silence now. Let even the teaching fade. What remains when the words stop? What is here before thought begins? This is what you are. This is what has always been. This is home. Rest now. Rest completely. Rest without reservation or condition. The night holds you. The darkness cradles you. The silence receives you. There is nothing to fear in this darkness. It is not empty, but full. Full of rest. Full of peace. Full of the presence that you are. Let your eyes grow heavy if they have not already closed. Let your jaw relax. Let your tongue rest soft in your mouth. Let your hands uncurl. Let your feet grow warm and still. The body knows how to sleep. Trust it. Allow it. Receive its wisdom. In a temple garden, the last candle flickers and begins to dim. The incense has burned down to ash. The prayers have been spoken. The monks have retired to their quarters. Silence fills the empty halls, and yet the garden continues. The moon continues. The night continues, without anyone watching, without anyone directing, without anyone in charge. This is how the universe moves, effortlessly, perfectly, on its own. And you can rest in this movement. You can trust this unfolding. Your individual effort is not required to keep the stars burning. Your personal supervision is not necessary for the world to turn. You can let go of the weight of responsibility you carry. The universe was here before you arrived. It will continue after you leave. This is not frightening but liberating. You are part of something vast, something that does not depend on your worry or your control, something that holds you and loves you and carries you forward. Release into that holding, surrender into that love, rest in that carrying. A bamboo grove stands silent in the mountains, swaying in the night wind. Each stalk is hollow, empty inside, and that emptiness is its strength. Because it is empty, it can bend without breaking. It can dance with the storm. Because it has nothing to protect, nothing to defend, it cannot be defeated. This is the wisdom of emptiness. Not lack, but openness. Not void, but space. Space for life to move through. Space for grace to enter. Tonight, you can become like the bamboo. Hollow, open, receptive. Letting the breath move through you. Letting the peace fill you. Not holding on to anything. Not pushing anything away. Just being the space in which everything arises and passes. This is true rest. Not a doing, but a being. Not an effort, but a release. The bamboo does not try to be strong. It simply is what it is. And in that being, it finds a strength that cannot be forced. You too have this strength. It lives within your surrender, not your striving. Rest now. Let the bamboo teach you. Let the hollow places fill with peace. The wind moves through the grove. The stalks sway. The moon shines on. And somewhere in the distance, a temple bell rings once. Then silence. That single note floats out over the sleeping village below. It touches the ears of dreamers. It blesses the rest of the weary. And then it fades, as all things fade, as all sounds return to silence. But the silence was never disturbed. It held the sound as the sky holds clouds. And when the sound departed, the silence remained. Complete, unchanged, you are that silence. Deep within, beneath all the noise of the mind. You are the stillness that holds all movement, the peace that holds all disturbance. Nothing that happens in your life can truly disturb you. It can create ripples on the surface. It can stir waves for a time. But the depths remain still. The ocean floor is never touched by the storm. Rest in those depths tonight. Descend below the waves of thought, below the currents of emotion, below the tides of memory and plan. There is a place in you that is always still, always calm, always at peace. It is not somewhere else. It is not hard to reach. It is here, now. Simply stop swimming for a moment and notice that you float. The water holds you up. It has always held you up. It always will. Trust that holding. Relax into that buoyancy. Let the depths receive you. An old woman once spent her entire life by the side of a mountain stream. She was not a nun or a teacher. She had no students or followers. She simply lived in a small cottage and watched the water flow past. Day after day, year after year, decade after decade. She watched. Visitors would sometimes stop and ask her what she was doing. She would smile and say, "I am learning patience from the water. The water never rushes. It never worries. It never doubts its path. It simply flows, moment by moment, drop by drop, forever. And in that flowing, it carves canyons. It shapes the very stone, not through force but through persistence, not through effort but through presence." The visitors would nod politely, not really understanding, and move on. But the old woman did not mind. She was not trying to teach. She was simply sharing what she saw, what the water had shown her, how the softest element overcomes the hardest through patient surrender, how stillness and movement are not opposites, but partners in the dance. When she died peacefully, sitting by the stream she loved. Her face was calm, her hands were folded, her breath simply stopped, and the stream continued flowing, as it had before her, as it would after. She had learned its lesson well. She had become what she observed, patient, flowing, surrendered to the path, at peace with the journey. This is available to you now, this patience, this peace, this flow. You do not need to live by a stream for decades to learn it. You can feel it in this breath, in this moment, in this darkness. The water flows through you too. Life flows through you. You are not separate from the stream. You are part of its current. Let it carry you tonight. Let it wash away the residue of the day, the worries, the tensions, the regrets, the fears, all of it, dissolving in the stream, floating away on the current, released, and in their place, stillness. In their place, calm. In their place, rest. The stream knows where it is going, and so does this night. You are moving toward sleep, toward dreams, toward the renewal that waits. You do not need to direct this movement. It is already happening. Simply allow it. Simply float. Simply trust the current of your own being. Peace is not something we create. It is what remains when we stop struggling. Now the words begin to slow. The teaching begins to fade. There is less and less to say, more and more to simply be. In the final approach to sleep, language loses its grip. Thoughts grow sparse, distant, like stars fading in the morning light. This is natural. This is good. This is the way of letting go. Do not hold on to the words. Do not try to remember the teachings. Let them dissolve. Let them become part of you without your knowing. Like rain soaking into the earth, like light absorbed by leaves. The wisdom will be there when you need it. It does not require memorization. It lives in the body now. It breathes in the cells. It rests in the bones. Tomorrow you will move differently. You will think differently. You will be differently. Not because you tried, but because you rested, because you let go. This is the gift of deep sleep. Transformation without effort. The caterpillar does not try to become a butterfly. It simply sleeps. And when it wakes, it has wings. The change happened in the stillness. So trust the stillness that is coming. Trust the darkness that receives you. Great work is being done in the silence of your surrender. Healing, integration, renewal, growth, all happening without your direction. The body knows what it needs. The mind knows how to release. You have done your part by arriving here, by lying down, by listening. Now the rest belongs to the night, to the deep intelligence within you. Let it work. Let it heal. Let it restore what needs restoring. You are in good hands, the hands of your own deepest being, the hands that beat your heart, that grow your cells, that dream your dreams. These hands have never failed you. They have kept you alive until now. They will continue. They will carry you through this night and many more. Trust them. Relax into them. Surrender to their perfect care. The candle in the temple room has nearly burned to its end. The flame is small now, a tiny point of light in the darkness. It does not struggle against its fading. It does not fear its ending. It simply burns, moment by moment, until the wax is gone. And when the flame goes out, is anything truly lost? The light has done its work. It has illuminated the night. It has guided seekers. It has warmed hearts. It has served. Now it rests. Now it returns to the darkness from which it came. This is not tragedy but completion, not loss but fulfillment. Everything that burns eventually rests. Everything that rises eventually falls. This is not sad but beautiful. The great rhythm of existence. You too will rest tonight. You too will fall into the darkness, not the darkness of ending, but the darkness of renewal. like a seed resting in the earth before the spring, waiting, gathering strength, preparing for what comes next. Sleep is this waiting, this gathering, this preparation. Honour it, welcome it, let it take you where it will. The morning will come, it always does, the light will return. But for now, the darkness is your friend, your ally, your home. Rest in it fully, hold nothing back, give yourself completely. This is the gift you can give yourself, complete surrender, not to anything outside you, but to your own deepest nature, to the peace that lives at your core, to the stillness beneath the waves. You are almost there now. The threshold is near. A few more breaths, a few more moments, a few more words, and then silence, and then rest, and then sleep. The moon is setting somewhere. The stars are wheeling overhead. The earth is turning slowly in the vast and silent darkness. And you are part of this turning, part of this movement, part of this night. Not separate, not alone, never alone, always held by the same forces that hold the planets in their orbits, by the same intelligence that guides the migrating birds home. You belong here. You have always belonged here. You always will. Rest in that belonging. Let it be the last thing you feel. Belonging, home, safe, held, loved, at peace. The thoughts are fading now. The words are almost gone. Just the breath remains. In and out, soft and slow, and beneath the breath, the stillness, vast and welcoming, waiting for you, ready to receive you, patient as always. Go to it now. Go to the stillness. Go to the peace. Let the final thoughts drift away like leaves on water. Let the last tensions melt like ice in spring. Let the story of the day come to its gentle ending. And rest, simply rest, nothing more, nothing else. The night is here, the breath moves on its own, and all is well, all is always well. Deep in the darkness, something breathes with you, not separate from you, not watching from outside, but the same breath, the same life, the same being. You are not alone in this darkness. You could never be. The presence that created you accompanies you still. In every inhale, in every exhale, in every heartbeat, closer than close, more intimate than your own thoughts. Rest in that intimacy. Let it hold you as you fall. The falling is not frightening. It is surrender, the kind of falling that arrives at home, like a bird returning to its nest at dusk, like water returning to the ocean after its long journey. You are returning now, to yourself, to peace, to rest. The journey of the day is complete, nothing left undone. Whatever was missed can be found tomorrow. Whatever was broken can be mended in time. Tonight there is only this, only rest, only peace. Let your hands grow heavier on the bed. Let your feet sink down. The body is becoming like the earth, heavy, still, at rest. The mind is becoming like the sky, empty, clear, spacious. Soon there will be no body, no mind, just sleep, just the blessed absence of effort, the sweet relief of release. This is what you have been moving toward all day. Every moment was leading here, to this breath, to this surrender. You have arrived, you are home, you can stop now. The walking is done, the thinking is done, the doing is done. Nothing remains but being, nothing remains but rest. A temple somewhere falls silent for the night. The monks are sleeping in their simple rooms. The garden dreams beneath the watching stars, and the teachings wait in the darkness as they have for centuries. Tomorrow someone will wake and discover them anew. Tomorrow some heart will open to their gentle truth. But tonight even the teachings rest, even wisdom sleeps. The whole world turns in silence, dreaming its ancient dreams, and you are part of that dreaming, part of that turning. Your dreams will join the dreams of countless others tonight, a great web of sleeping minds breathing together in the dark, connected in ways you cannot see but can surely feel. Rest now in that connection. Rest in the web of being. You are held by everyone who has ever slept before you. You are cradled by the accumulated rest of countless nights. This is your inheritance, this peace, this safety, this belonging. Receive it now. Let it fill you completely. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to understand. Just this, just breath, just darkness, just peace. The last words are fading now, like the last light of the candle. Soon there will be only silence, only the deep quiet of sleep. Welcome it. Let it take you. You are safe, completely safe, utterly held, perfectly at peace. The breath continues on its own. You do not need to guide it. The heart beats on its own. You do not need to direct it. The body heals on its own. You do not need to oversee it. Everything is taken care of. Everything is held. You can let go now, completely, without reservation, into the arms of the night, into the embrace of rest, into the peace that has been waiting for you all along. It is yours. It has always been yours. It will always be yours. Rest now. Rest deeply. Rest completely. And as the candle burns low, the world continues, quietly, gently, without you needing to do a thing. The darkness receives you. The silence holds you. And sleep, sweet sleep, arrives at last. There is nothing more to say. There is nothing more to know. Just this moment, just this breath, just this peace. Let it carry you now. Let it take you home, to the place where there is no worry, no fear, no struggle, only rest, only quiet, only the deep stillness of being. You are there now. You have arrived. You are home. Sleep well, gentle one. Sleep deep and true. The night will keep its watch. The stars will mark the hours. And when morning comes, you will wake refreshed, ready to begin again, ready to live another day. But that is tomorrow. That is another story. Tonight there is only this, only rest, only peace, and all is well, all is always well. The breath softens, the body stills, the mind grows quiet, and you sink deeper, deeper into the welcoming dark, where there are no words, no thoughts, no time, only the endless peace of deep and dreamless sleep. Rest now, rest now, rest now. The journey is complete. The story has been told. All that remains is silence, and within that silence, peace. You are held, you are safe, you are loved, and sleep, soft as moonlight, takes you in its arms, carrying you gently through the night, until the morning finds you rested, renewed, at peace. Sleep now, sleep, and let the world turn on without you. For a little while, for these precious hours, rest. The moon continues its journey across the silent sky. The stars burn with ancient light in the infinite dark, and you rest beneath their watching, part of their peace. One small creature on one small world, sleeping, connected to everything, part of everything, at home, in the great turning, in the vast holding, in the endless love that moves the sun and all the other stars. Rest now, be at peace, and know that you are exactly where you belong, in this moment, in this breath, in this night, and all is well, all is always well.